Today's story takes place in the small town of Willow Creek, nestled in Northern California near the Sierra Nevada mountains. With a population of less than 10,000, life here is quiet and orderly. In this sleepy little town lived a 13-year-old girl named Lily Harper, a bundle of energy who loved gymnastics. She dreamed of becoming a professional gymnast one day and poured her heart into every practice. But in 2010, a chilling case shook the nation, starting right here in Willow Creek. Lily vanished without a trace after heading to the local sports center, sparking a mystery that would grip the country. It was a frigid Friday, snow falling gently over Willow Creek. The streets were eerily still, with only the occasional car rumbling by. At 5:15 p.m., Lily said goodbye to her parents and left home for the sports center, just 500 meters away, a quick 10-minute walk. The center had a basketball court, a pool, and a gymnastics room where Lily often trained. That day, her coach, Ms. Clara Evans, hadn't scheduled a lesson but asked Lily to drop off a stereo system and head back home. By 7 p.m., the fireplace crackled at the Harper house, the smell of dinner filling the air. But Lily's plate sat empty. Her mom kept glancing at the door, her dad fidgeting with his phone. At 7:11 p.m., her mom called her, only to hear the cold, automated message. The phone was off. This had never happened before. By 7:55 p.m., with snow piling up outside, her parents couldn't wait any longer. They drove to the sports center, only to learn from Clara that Lily had left at 6:30 p.m. frantic. They scoured the nearby streets, but found nothing. Desperate, they called the police. The cops arrived fast. Clara Evans explained that the gymnastics room stereo had broken, and since Lily's family had a spare, she'd asked her to bring it over. Lily arrived around 5:30 p.m., dropped off the stereo, practiced a bit with some other kids, and waved goodbye at 6:30 p.m., heading out alone. The small Willow Creek police force knew they were out of their depth and called for backup from Sacramento. There, a sharp prosecutor named Rachel Carter, 45, took charge. A former cop with stellar record, Rachel was a mom herself and felt the Harpers' pain deeply. She sent a swarm of officers to Willow Creek to dig into the case. Lily came from a tight-knit family, an older sister, 2 younger brothers, an engineer dad, and a teacher mom. At 13, she was a ray of sunshine, her blonde hair bouncing as she nailed her routines. She lived for gymnastics, and her parents cheered her on every step of the way. That day, she wore a black t-shirt under a black jacket, black leggings, sneakers, and gloves. At first, investigators wondered if she'd run away, but her family insisted she was a good kid, happy at home, with no reason to bolt. Claire agreed. Lily loved training and showed no signs of distress. Phone records showed Lily texting a friend about a weekend competition at 6:50 p.m. Then silence. By 7:11 p.m., her phone was dead. The sports center's cameras? Fried in a summer storm and never fixed. No footage of her leaving. Cops went door to door. One witness said he saw a girl like Lily at 6:40 p.m. near the center, talking to someone in a car. It was dark. He couldn't see the driver or the license plate and wasn't even sure it was her. Police dogs picked up Lily's scent at the center, but led them away from her house. Her phone's last ping, at 6:49 p.m., placed her in Roseville, a half-hour walk from Willow Creek. She couldn't have gotten there on foot in 19 minutes. Someone drove her. The theory? Abduction. Her parents held a press conference, begging the kidnapper to let her go, promising no questions asked. But Lily was gone, like she'd vanished into thin air. The media frenzy exploded. Reporters flooded Willow Creek, hounding anyone who knew Lily. Volunteers joined the search. Rachel Carter went all in, tapping thousands of phone calls in Willow Creek and Roseville, even the Harpers. It was a bold move. Some called it a waste, others a privacy violation. Rachel didn't care. She had to find Lily. A suspect emerged, Omar Khalid, a 22-year-old Moroccan worker at a Roseville construction site. In a tapped call, he'd said something odd in Arabic. Allah will bless us for taking the girl's life. Cops tracked him to a ship bound from Morocco, arrested him, and found a suspicious red-stained mattress in his apartment. But Omar was baffled, claiming a translation mix-up. Experts confirmed it. He'd actually said, "Allah will forgive us." The stains? Nothing sinister. A misunderstanding. Omar was cleared, but the media had already painted him as a killer, costing him his job and his visa. By Christmas, Willow Creek was grim. Reporters camped outside the Harpers' home, turning their grief into a circus. The family hid behind curtains. Their other kids unable to go to school. Locals held vigils, holding Lily's picture, praying for her return. Her parents stopped talking to press, pleading for peace to mourn. Then, in late February 2011, a breakthrough. A guy flying a drone near Placerville, 6 miles from Willow Creek, crashed it in a field. Checking the wreckage, he found old clothes, sneakers, and a foul smell. Cops rushed over and found a decomposed body. A music player, keys, a SIM card, and a battery were nearby. No phone. Rachel, skiing with her daughter, raced to the scene. The clothes matched Lily's. DNA confirmed it. Her parents were shattered but demanded justice. Autopsy results were grim. No assault, but cuts on her body and a blunt head wound. She died of hypothermia, likely that first night. Grass under her nails suggested she fought to survive. The killer had taken her from the sports center to Roseville, attacked her, and dumped her in Placerville. Lime in her lungs and burlap fibers on her jacket pointed to a construction link. DNA on her gloves traced to Clara Evans, but that made sense. She'd been with Lily that day. Clara's phone showed text to her brother, later deleted. She claimed they'd just discussed Lily's disappearance. Nothing more. No proof. So she was cleared. Then a bombshell. Unknown male blood on Lily's leggings and underwear, dubbed Unknown Male Number 1. This DNA was a key. Rachel launched a massive DNA sweep across Willow Creek and Roseville, testing thousands. A genetics expert suggested the killer had light eyes, blue, green, or gray. Common in Northern California. It was like finding a needle in a haystack. But Rachel bet on narrowing it to 15,000 samples to catch a family match. 6 months later, the Harpers held a memorial at the Sports Center. Crowds brought flowers. TV crews broadcast live. Everyone mourned the girl, who could have been a gymnastics star. Meanwhile, the DNA hunt pressed on. Under U.S. law, cops could force samples in big cases, and the media kept the pressure blazing. Some spreading lies, others slamming police for wasting cash. Rachel faced mounting criticism, but doubled down. At the Placerville site, she noticed its isolation, perfect for hiding a body. Nearby, a members-only bar caught her eye. She had cops stake it out, collecting DNA from Friday and Saturday night regulars. A match. Dylan Grant, a local, shared Y chromosome markers with Unknown Male Number 1, a family tie. But Dylan was in South America during the crime, with solid alibi. No brothers, dead dad. Dead end. Then a twist. Dylan's mom, Margaret Lane, had been the Harpers' nanny years ago. Lily adored her, trailing her around, showing off flips. Margaret loved her like a daughter. Cops tap her phones. Nothing shady. Another bust. A year in, the case stalled. Rumors swirled that cops were sloppy or hiding something. Rachel took heat from politicians demanding her job. Still, she traced Dylan's lineage back to 1815 to a tiny mountain town, Cedar Hollow, 20 miles from Sacramento. There, Dylan's uncle, Henry Grant, had lived, dead since 1999. He couldn't be the killer, but his widow, Laura Pierce, was alive. Cops tested old stamps Henry had licked. His DNA matched Unknown Male Number 1's father. Henry, a charismatic bus driver, had 3 kids with Laura. None matched. Rachel suspected an affair. Henry took solo trips to Lake Tahoe every May. Maybe a mistress? Records showed nothing. Divorce wasn't legal in the U.S. until later, so a married lover was possible, complicating things. In 2012, the Harpers hired a geneticist. Henry's stamped DNA was shaky, only 13 STR markers, not enough for certainty. They exhumed him in 2013. New test confirmed. Henry was a father. Media spun wild tales, 5 secret kids. Rachel ignored them, retesting Unknown Male Number 1's DNA. A rare mutation pointed to the mother. Enter Mike Russo, a grizzled detective with salt and pepper hair and a no-nonsense vibe. If I don't crack a case, I'm pissed. He'd been Rachel's shadow from the start. Digging into Henry's past, Mike found Ellen Carter, a stylish factory worker Henry flirted with on his bus route. Married to Tom Brooks, a sickly introvert, Ellen stood out. Rumor had it she and Henry were close. She'd move away, had twins with Tom, including Mason Brooks, a 42-year-old builder with striking blue eyes, living in Roseville. Ellen's DNA, collected a year earlier, was miscompared to Lily's, not unknown male number ones. A lab screw-up. Fixed. It confirmed. Ellen was the mother, Mason the son. Cops tricked Mason with a fake DUI stop, snagging his DNA. It matched perfectly. The killer was caught. In June 2014, cops nabbed Mason at his Roseville site. He bolted, but they had him cornered. His truck had burlap fibers matching Lily's jacket. Phone pings put him near the sports center that night. He'd stalked Lily, eaten pizza, hit a tanning salon, then struck. At trial, Mason denied it. His nosebleeds explained the blood. He said his tools were stolen. Defense claimed contaminated evidence. Prosecutors fired back. His DNA on her underwear was damning, unlike Claire's innocent contact. In 2018, Mason got life without parole. Justice, but no closure. Henry's widow, Laura, faced her husband's betrayal. Tom Brooks, dying of cancer, learned his twins weren't his. Ellen swore they were, but DNA didn't lie. The Harpers lost Lily forever. Willow Creek would never be the same. What do you think of this twisted tale? Let me know.